Don't touch it, warns the first page of so many RPG books, informing us all that the DM, though we might have considered them a friend and a fellow player up until this moment, is actually a dangerous predator, willing to kill you before sharing any food. That's why our recipe includes enough dough to make 3 pizzeria-style thin crust pizzas, crisp and delightful. As our research has displayed that even the most rigorous of DMs can only defend 2 pizzas at once. There you have it, folks. You can defend against all evil with 3 pizzas. If you're showing up with just 2, that is on you. It says right here. Hi, welcome to 2025. Yeah. For today's video, I started this yesterday. We're just gonna kind of pick up now and then we'll go back in time a little bit. I picked up some new cookbooks. They're fun. Okay, so a little backstory leading up to these cookbooks. Fun little fact is that my aunt, who's no longer with us, love you, Aunt Joy, when D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, first was rolling out, she was a part of that. She actually worked for Gary Gygax. She was his project coordinator. Official little business card of hers. And like she worked personally with him. But I was very young. So like, you know, she's there at like 1980. And so I was like 5. And my brother is 6 years older than me. So while she was working with him, she would send my brother, like she sent him like the original, the very first D&D Dungeon Master's Guide and all the games and everything. And I was too young, so I got the fantasy books. I don't know if she just found these or if these were part of TSR. Oh yeah, Dungeons and Dragons. So she sent me these books. You kind of can pick your path when you're in the story. So anyway, he got all the D&D stuff and played, you know, he was starting to play with his friends and I was too young. So I had no interest. Always thought it was cool. Always knew that it was cool that my aunt worked at Dungeons and Dragons, but that's about the extent of it. But who knew all these years later, I would finally get into the game. So randomly one of my friends messaged and was like, hey, we're trying to get a group together, play D&D. Anybody interested? And I was like, why not? Let's try it. And now we've been playing for over a year. It's fun. It's a good time. Anyway, I went on to Amazon to look up some fun cookbooks. Literally what I typed in search bar was fun cookbooks. Not looking for specifically Dungeons and Dragons. I was just seeing what kind of fun cookbooks are out there. And Snoop Dogg's from Crooks to Cooks popped up. And then Dungeons and Dragons, various ones. Or fantasy themed even as well. And so that's what I picked up. Because today I decided I wanted to make a pizza. And there's a recipe in one of these books for making the crust. And you have to put it in overnight. At least 24 hours. It stays good up to 2 weeks, but it needs 24 hours at least in the starting. So I made that yesterday, which we will go back to, and I will show you that process. But let me show you these books. And they're not all D&D. I picked up this one. Cooking for Wizards, Warriors, and Dragons. 125 unofficial recipes inspired by The Witcher, Game of Thrones, The Broken Earth, and other fantasy favorites. None of these 3 have I ever seen, to be honest. But in here, it also has recipes inspired by The Wheel of Time. I am watching that one currently. And Lord of the Rings, I believe. So, not all unfamiliar to me. But what I can say about this book is it's beautiful. It's got beautiful like illustrations in it. It does not have illustrations of the food, so I have no idea what some of these things are supposed to look like. Which with this book would have been probably helpful because there are some things in here I have never even purchased or know what the heck they are. They're kind of a little bit for me, little Indiana girl from a very small town, I guess. Some of these are fancy, I guess you'd call it. I did find some in here I think I could pull out and feel comfortable making. So at some point we'll do that. Then I picked up, excuse the papers because this is the one we're using today, the Düngeonmeister Cookbook. And it's another unofficial. It's not by D&D. 75 RPG inspired recipes to level up your game night. So this one's full of like more some full sort of meals like the pizza, but there's a lot of like snacky stuff you can make to like take to like game nights. Several recipes in here that I want to do. But today, for our New Year's Day dinner, we're going to do the DM's pizza, next day pizza dough. This one. Staying on the Dungeons and Dragons theme, this one is the official Dungeons and Dragons cookbook. And as you can see, I already have thumbnailed a lot of recipes from this book. Very nostalgic for me. I didn't necessarily mean for this to solely become a cooking channel, but I promise I will sprinkle in like fashion hauls and stuff like that. It's just what's happening right now. A couple hours, I'll pop back on and we will make our pizza. How about that? Good morning, my friends. I'm not feeling so well today, but I wanted to make homemade pizza, and here is our pizza recipe that I'm going to attempt, and it's next day pizza dough. This has to be made the night ahead. I have all my ingredients I need. It says you need 1.5 cups of warm water, 1 tablespoon of granulated sugar, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 3/4, sorry about my dishwasher. I'm not sure how to pause it, and it was already started. 3/4 teaspoon of the active dry yeast, 4.5 cups of all-purpose flour divided, 1 teaspoon of salt, and then it goes on to tell you the toppings of your choice. In a small bowl, combine water, sugar, oil, and yeast and set aside for 3 minutes to allow yeast to foam and bloom. Okay, so, all right, so we have 1.5 cups of warm water, 1 tablespoon of sugar. Spill that. This is not the best bowl for this. It's not gonna be easy to pour out, even though it said a small bowl. We're changing her up. Wouldn't be me if I didn't dirty up a bunch of dishes. Holy crap. 1 tablespoon of sugar. Really tired of the rain. 1 tablespoon of olive oil. 3/4 of a teaspoon of active dry yeast. I don't have, oh, I have 1/4 maybe. Okay, this will work. One, 2, 3. All right, and it just says set this aside for 3 minutes. In a large bowl or stand mixer with dough hook attachment, sift, I don't have a sifter. It is what it is. 4 cups of flour and salt. Okay, because I just remembered it said 4.5 cups of flour divided in the instructions or the ingredient list, and then down here 4 cups. So the other half is for the surface, whatever. So it's really just 4 cups. 1 teaspoon. I have an idea. I don't have a whisk clean, but I do have an extra thing, so we'll use this. We're gonna put this in here. I've never used these hooks on here before on this retro mixer of mine, so I'm assuming these are dough hooks. They look like dough hooks, and I hope they work. Fingers crossed. Two minutes. It says once the dough is soft and shiny but still slightly sticky, begin pinching edges and folding under in a circular motion to shape dough into a ball. Place dough in a large oiled bowl, seam side down. Oh, okay. I'm gonna let that bounce over there. said well oiled. Okay. It is starting to look kind of shiny. I wish I had an example of what it means by pinching the edges. Once the dough is soft and shiny, but still slightly sticky, yeah, begin pinching. Okay, come to me. I'm about too short to get this out of you. There we go. I don't really have a seam, but we're just gonna go with it. Cover it in oil. There's our dough. Part 1, the dough. We will continue part 2 tomorrow. I'm back. It's time to make the dough for the pizza. So I got it out a couple hours ago. It says divide log into 3 equal portions. I left 2 in my fridge because I don't need them. So I just cut this portion out and let it sit out the 2 hours that it said you had to do. And then it says, when ready to cook, roll 1 dough ball out to a thin circle approximately 12 inches in diameter on a floured pan or pizza steel. Well, I use this pizza pan. It's my cast iron. Amazing. Recommend. And since I'm doing it on here, I don't know if I need to do the flour. I wonder if I can just like, you know, smush it on there. Let's say, what's the oven gotta be at? 475. I think that's the highest I've ever personally cooked anything at. 475. Okay. Here's what the dough looks like. Looks pretty. I'm just gonna oil my hands up a little bit. Push this out. Well, that's pretty damn perfect to fit my pan. Buddies, isn't that beautiful? I think that turned out really good. I hope it comes off of the pan easy, but I'm impressed. It was like the perfect portion. Beautiful. Okay, I'm happy. I'm happy. Feeling very adventurous with myself today. Eat your heart out, DM. It's good to have the Bard on your side. I can not only entertain, my ass can cook. Bard skills, baby. Okay. All right, I'm gonna use Ray's 4 cheese for my sauce. Shouldn't have greased my hands before I did that. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Maybe not. Oh, sweet Jesus. Man. Man. That was tough. We're going all the way, baby. I'll have to read you I think these have little things. Beautiful. And we're gonna use some pepperonis. Hot sausage and some portobello mushrooms. It's probably enough here for another pizza, which is fine because I still have 2 more rounds of dough left in the refrigerator. And I think I mentioned it, but it says it stores for 2 weeks, the dough. So that looks so good. That looks good. I didn't even need the rolling pin. Some mozzarella. Says 10 to 12 minutes. There she is. It looks so good. In the oven she goes, over here. Wedding. Time to free the beast. Look at that beautiful thing. Look, it's so beautiful. I mean, it's fierce. It's a fierce pizza. Grr. Isn't it lovely? I mean, sorry, I know. You're fierce, and it's gonna release. Hot damn, hot damn. Okay, my friends should be down here any minute. We need to snash on some grubbage, so bye guys.